What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of 100 Yards Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your host and producer, Logan Landers. Joining me today to talk about Malachi Corley, wide receiver coming out of Western Kentucky. Helping me out is Mr. William Yanish III, who is a tremendous writer over at FirstRoundMock.com. How you doing this afternoon, man?
Doing all right, man. How are you, Logan?
Hanging in there, man. Ready to talk about this exciting prospect. But before we do, if you guys enjoy this episode, give us a like, follow, share, and subscribe on Facebook and on YouTube as well. Also, go and download our podcast, available every single week. Well, William, let's get into it, man. What you like about Mr. Malachi Corley coming out of Western Kentucky?
Malachi Corley is a player. I started watching last year when I was evaluating Austin Reed out of Western Kentucky, and I mean, this is 2024 wide receiver class is just playing deep, and there's at least five that could go in the first round easily. Should. And Malachi Corley he's definitely on the edge right there of the first, second round. I mean, what people say about him and Deebo Samuel, this is, Deebo Samuel 2.0. I mean, he's got that, the yards after the catch thing. That's what he's known for. I don't like repeating people, but when it's obvious, I mean, this was a fairly easy evaluation. He's the same size, he's the same player, everything, is Deebo. He just doesn't, have the what do you call it, the outwardness of it yet as a receiver, in the NFL. But this is a guy that can do anything from, I mean, that's what he specializes in is yak, yards after the catch. And I mean, what he can do is unbelievable. Watching him, the chemistry between him and Austin Reed. Austin Reed's a late round prospect, and he's got some things about him that I do like. And
Right.
he never quits, and this guy has been part of that. Every good to elite quarterback this year has had elite receivers this year. And
Yeah, and what I like too about Malachi Corley is, I mean, a couple of years ago, when he went over to Western Kentucky, I mean, he was a small guy. He was around 190, 192, but he bulked up. He's at around 215, 220 now, which is a lot better playing weight. It's fine to be, maybe, 190 or so in college, but you got to have some muscle mass. You got to have a little bit more on you in the NFL to absorb those hits. So I credit him for bulking up a little bit. But this dude might be one of the quickest guys in the league here if he pieces it all together. I mean, he's topped out at speeds of around 23 miles an hour, for God's sake. He's also freakishly athletic and strong. Bench 355 on the bench press. I mean, so he is that just tremendous combination of speed and power. And when I look at him, what is really going to make him stand out is the run after the catch. Because once he gets going downfield, good luck trying to catch him. That's where he's going to excel, like you mentioned, like a Deebo Samuel. If you just give him a curl route or an easy slant, it seems more than likely he's going to take it to the house. I think that Corley is a really good player. Also, let's not forget, too, he used to play defense a little bit. So, as a two-way player back in high school, so he has a little bit of read on defense, which helps out as a wide receiver. And,
for sure.
like I said, yards after the catch, this guy might lead the league in them in the next couple of years. I truly believe that because of just how fast he is.
Yeah, this guy, I mean, he is, like I said, whoever ends up drafting him is not going to be, disappointed at all. I mean, he needs to work on his route tree a little bit, coming from an air raid offense, and that kind of thing, just the technical side of it. But, there as an athlete that he is, with the skills that he has, I mean, he is going to make somebody real happy. And, there's another receiver in this draft, a little bit like him, Ricky Parasol from Florida. You know, they've got a few of the same, you know, kind of Debo comparison, kind of, you know, that kind of thing. I mean, he is a player, and I mean, he will be around this league for a while, you know, and I mean, that's what I can say about him.
He leaves you speechless. He really does, because of just his sheer athleticism, and a guy who, when you look at in this draft, is someone who might fall in certain draft boards, and that has to do with where he played at Western Kentucky. Obviously, scouts are going to flock to the higher name schools, the Alabamas, the USCs of the world, the Oregons, so on and so forth, Clemson's, and then Western Kentucky will be sprinkled down there around 20 or so. But if your team needs a start and go receiver, someone you can plug in pretty much day one, I would say, someone who doesn't need a whole lot of fine tuning to get it going, this is the guy for you to help out your team. To maybe he might not be a number one in the league, but he has all of the tools. And with the right team around him, with the right quarterback especially, and other receivers in his room, he could be a guy who could be on the team for quite some time, maybe sneak in a couple of Pro Bowl appearances when all said and done. But he has just that sheer athleticism, speed, and power that you do not see a lot of in the NFL, coming into the NFL. And that's what I see in Malachi Corley. Mr. Yanish, do you have any final words you'd like to say about Malachi Corley?
Like I said, man, you know, the athlete's there. He's there for the taking. A playmaker, you know, at the end of the first round, beginning of the second round. That's not, you know, there's a ton of teams that could use that for a luxury pick, you know, including, you know, some of the high flying teams, you know, Buffalo, you know, Kansas City, San Francisco, even, you know. I mean, there's a bunch of teams that can use him right there, and he will be a plug and play kind of player. So, and I mean,
he's going to be fun to watch. He's going to be fun to watch. I know that much, man. He's going to be an absolute monster on the field, and I am excited to see how he is going to do. Well, Mr. William Yanish, love it, man. Love it. I appreciate you coming on the show today, talking about Malachi Corley, wide receiver out of Western Kentucky. I'm your host and producer, Logan Landers. Guys, once again, if you enjoyed the video, give us a like, follow, share, and subscribe. And also, be sure to tune in April 25th, live draft show reactions. See what we think about the entire first round of the 2024 NFL Draft. Until next time, we'll see you on another live